Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is once again time. I don't think anyone is out on track right now, but it is time for the OGRL Gen 6 Cup Series. Tonight we are racing at Texas Motor Speedway for the season opener here. And some quick facts about the track. Opened in the late 90s, and Jeff Burton won the first race back here in 1997. And currently Kevin Harvick holds the track record with a 27.617. And lap times we're seeing now, 29.435 is the fastest lap. That is from the 54 of Matt Cherry. So this is a brand new season for these drivers here tonight. New season, no one has any points. It's 12 races in length. So this first race here is at Texas. We'll be having 85 laps here. And then next week we have Richmond, then Talladega, and then we got Bristol, another short track. Bristol seems to put on some good races in these cup cars here, so I'm excited for that. New Hampshire, that's a cool, fun track to watch. Chicagoland, we have a road course then. Watkins Glen, and then Martinsville, Dover, Charlotte, North Wilkesboro, and then finally Daytona to cap off the season. We're going to have 85 laps tonight, right? No, 75 actually, sorry. They ended up changing that like last minute. So it's only 85 or 75 laps now. Let's see if we can maybe get someone up here for a interview. Let's see. Oh, I don't know who I want to drag. Hold on, we'll hold off for a minute here. See if we can see how this track is looking like. Is Alfie gonna go out? Nope, he's teasing us. Yes, maybe. Okay, guess he's gonna do burnouts now in his number 1 Clover Chevrolet. Pretty cool paint scheme, honestly. I like the Trackhouse designs. Their number font is pretty cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and dial up Brian Rupert. Hey Brian, Sean up in the booth, you got at me?
Yeah, we got you. How's it going, man?
Alright, well Brian, currently practice is, we got 7.5 minutes left here, and what are your expectations here for tonight?
Oh man, it's gonna be a tire management race. Turns 1 and 2 get super tight the longer a run goes. Uh, really got to do a lot of lifting. I think it's really gonna come down to tire management.
So how do you think drivers are going to be able to manage their tires? Really have to back it up on entry and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely gonna have to back up entry, especially into 1 and 2. Probably run a higher steering ratio. I'm running 16-1 myself. Um, 3 and 4, you can pretty much run flat footed. I don't know. Probably see guys move up the track, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, how's the fuel looking like? I'm going to guess we can't make it the whole way on one
No,
tank.
no, no, it was 60%. I'm thinking 35 laps, probably
It's roughly
25 to 35
halfway.
laps, somewhere right in that range.
Yeah.
Yeah, about halfway.
Alright, well sounds good, Brian. Good luck tonight. Hopefully that number 8 Dirty Mo Chevrolet is up front.
Hope so. Thanks, man.
Yep. Good luck.
Thanks.
So there's some insight for you guys. The tires are usually pretty rough here. I did notice I was running truck races when they were here just a handful of weeks ago, and they really didn't seem to really do much, at least in the trucks. So, I mean, 3 and 4 are flat out in the trucks. So, he said that they were in cup cars, well, sort of ish. So, we'll see how that works out for some of these drivers here. Kevin Newborn is out on track right now. He's 9th quickest, and he has a 29.853 has a good amount of time to gain. With how fast Texas is, I feel like exits are really important, especially with how this track is. So either you good, um, get a good exit, or you don't. You know. We have 5 minutes left of practice, and I think this is going to be a great show. We don't have a whole lot of cars, but that's okay. Brandon Fetter plays. Had a good run last night going for him in the modified series. Wasn't able to quite be there at the end. I think he still managed a solid top 5, top 10 finish, if I remember correctly. And right now, currently 5th fastest. Maybe trying to go ahead, get another top 10, maybe even a top 5 here tonight. And then everybody's in the pits. There's Brian Rupert. We were just talking to him. Trying to get some more time here. Looks like most drivers are running a little bit above that first seam there. Trying to figure out. They're trying to see if anyone's going to run way down on the bottom there. And then 3 and 4 looks like they're running with the right side tires right on that first seam, and then they let it ride up. Just your typical Texas line. That's a 29.815 for Rupert. There's Dave Ingram. He's 8th fastest. His number 22 Ford Mustang. Now for me, it's been a while since we've done a Gen 6 Cup car broadcast here on the VRN channel, but these things never disappoint, that is for sure. I'm really excited for the 75 lap race here at Texas Motor Speedway. What else we got? There's Alfie. Currently has the 3rd fastest lap. And there's Matt Cherry with the fastest lap overall in his number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet. Looking like he could possibly be the favorite to win here tonight at Texas. And ironically enough, Jimmy Johnson does have the most amount of wins at Texas in the NASCAR Cup Series with either 6 or 7. I want to say it's 7. Yep, he has 7 wins, 16 top 5s, and 22 top 10s at Texas. It sounds like I'm reading off his season stats of like 2006 or something, I don't know. And then Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch have the most starts for, well, obvious reasons. And Kevin Harvick actually also has the best average finish of 10.4. There's some cool stats to throw at you. And then Kurt Busch holds the qualifying record at Texas here with a 26.875 or 8.77. We haven't really seen speeds quite that high yet, so we'll see what happens here. I highly doubt we'll get anywhere close to that because it is fixed setup event, and unless you change these cars a lot, you're not really going to get much more out of them, I would think. Fastest 29.4. We get like one of the pro drivers, they could probably get a 29.0, 29.2. I don't really know how good a 29.4 is around this joint in the fixed setup, honestly. But hey, everybody is calming down now, getting ready for qualifying. So that will be something. And I've qualified for the first time in what feels like forever. I mean, that's really only been... Okay, yeah, it's definitely been a lot longer. No. These cars have grill tape, unlike the new next-gen cars. So, yeah. But, I mean, obviously they can't change anything because of, well, yeah, fixed setup. But hey, we're still going to have fun here tonight. 75 laps, getting ready to go into practice. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on VRN. We will be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Who's going to go out first to qualify their NASCAR Cup car? And it's David Wright, first driver out. Here he comes in his number 42, Texas Pete Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Everybody's coming out now. The floodgates are opening. Matt Cherry not too far behind in his number 48 Lowe's machine. Brandon Fetterplace in his 80 Mellow Yellow. Steven Selby? Yeah, Selby. Sorry. His number 13, James Kerr. We haven't seen this car yet, and that thing looks absolutely awesome over there. It's a really good looking paint scheme there. It's David Wright currently on his first timed lap, hitting just about 180 through the corner. He's still gaining speed. He started the corner 176. He's going to come out of the corner 178. Something just fell in the background. I don't know what that was. But Wright going to go top of the board with a 29.916. And Matt Cherry going to go second for now. He has a 30.0 flat. Let's see where these drivers could potentially be gaining time at. Fetterplace top of the charts now with a 29.817. And David Bennett with the perfect time right there. 30 flat. And Matt Cherry gets a 29.6 on his second lap. And David Wright currently on the top in his number 42 car with a 29.536. James Kerr going to better his time just a bit. Brandon Fetterplace going to take second. Steven Selby, Brian Rupert, 6th and 7th. Wagner, Requeno are out qualifying their machines. There's a 24 of Steven Requeno. And Dave Ingram in his 22. He is coming out on track. Steven Selby coming out of turn 4 to complete his second timed lap. And is he able to better it? Yes, but not enough to get 8th or 6th from Brian Rupert. Requeno on his first time lap in his number 24 Exalta Chevrolet. Here it comes through the quad oval. And his first lap's going to be a 31.1. And Ingram on his first lap didn't count. Wagner 30.791. We've got ourselves a Mountain Dew game fuel car. That is a really sweet paint scheme. And Requeno on his second lap going to try to better it out of 4. Wagner going to better it by 4/10. Requeno going to better it. Not really. Oh wait, no, I take that back. He did better it big time. He's going to move up to 4th on the board. And then Ingram now on his second lap. His last lap was a 30.0. What can he do now on his second one? Here it comes out of 4 into the quad oval. I keep wanting to say tri-oval, even though it isn't. 29.851 for his 22 Ford Mustang. Good enough for 6th on the board. Still have 30 seconds left of qualifying, but not anyone else is going to go ahead. Try to set a lap time because we don't really have enough time. But it looks like Alfie Sharon Jr., Modified Series champion, is now out on track. So it isn't letting me change the camera again. Please? There it goes. Let's see if he has enough time. Yeah, he doesn't have enough time to set a lap. Well, I mean, A for effort there, Alf. Alright, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. On your front row is David Wright and Brandon Fetterplace in his number 80 machine. Row 2 is Matt Cherry in his number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet. Beside him is Steven Requeno in his number 24 Exalta machine. And then we have James Kerr starting 5th inside of row number 3. James Kerr in the number 75. Can't quite tell what the sponsor is on that one, but Signcraft. I can't really tell. Sorry, James, you're going to have to tell me. And then beside him is Dave Ingram in his number 22 Ford Mustang. Starting inside of row number 4, it's David Bennett in his Haviline number 17 Mustang, with Alfie Sharon Jr. in his number 1 Clover iFly indoor skydiving Chevy. And then starting on the inside of row number 10, Brian Rupert, Dirty Mo Media, Dale Jr. Download number 8 Chevrolet. It's Brian Rupert. And then beside him in the number 13 FedEx Ground Toyota Camry, it's Steven Selby. And then behind him in the 11th starting position inside of row number 6, driving the number 26 Mountain Dew Game Fuel Chevrolet Camaro, it is Shane Wagner. And then beside him, driving the number 12 Coors Light Monster Energy Chevrolet Camaro, Jason Higginbotham. Row 7, you have Dylan Alderink in the number 51 Apex Designs Chevy. Beside him is Kevin Newborn, who did not grid, or did Alderink not grid? Alderink did not grid. No, there he is. So then, yeah, Kevin Newborn did not grid, and Higginbottom did not grid. So David Wright and Fetterplace are going to lead the field to green here tonight for the season opener of the OG Racing League Gen 6 Cup Series. It's been a hot minute since these drivers have raced in this series. Pace car is off, and green flag is out. We are racing at Texas. Everybody nice and smooth so far, but it's going to be the 48 already looking for the race lead out of turn 4 here on lap 1. Matt Cherry on the inside trying to take it from the 42. David Wright, Fetterplace on his outside, and here comes James Kerr with a strong run on the bottom. Is he going to make it 3 wide in turn 1 and 2 on board the 75? Going to go to the outside here. They're side by side, 2 rows deep. And then Steven Requeno just spectating here, back here in his number 24 machine. Alfie already up 2 spots since the start. David Bennett holding on in 7th, wrecking in the front. The 80 and the 1 sliding in the grass. Both cars saved it for the most part. Doesn't look like the 80 has a whole lot of damage, and as I say, that his rear end gets revealed, and it is not looking good on the left side of that car. Caution is out for the first time tonight here on lap number 2. Alfie Sharon Jr. and Brandon Fetterplace involved. Now let's see if we can take a look at a replay here. Here we go. Watch the number 1 and the number 80 car. Looks like Fetterplace got up and into the outside wall there. And Alfie just had nowhere to go and just got collected in it. And Fetter Place took it down pit road. That's going to be a black flag, but I'm sure the admins will clear that for him. I always forget that Texas has those weird lights on the front stretch there. So the lineup didn't change a whole lot there. A little bit of shuffling in the middle of the pack, but David Wright was actually managed to keep a hold of the race lead, even after Matt Cher was putting on quite a battle for it there. And the 24 not coming in, juked you all out. Stephen Requeno. That actually gives me an idea. When will pit stops happen? We have a few cars coming in. Alfie, Dylan Alderink, and Brandon Fetterplace are all coming down pit road. Doubt we will see many more. Shane Wagner in the number 26 car, up 2 spots. Hoping that he gets a good finish here tonight. David Bennett holding on to a top 5 for right now. We're only a few laps into this 75 lap race, and once they get spread out, might calm down a bit, but you got to start logging those laps and seeing how this long run handles. Got to make sure your car is dialed in. Want to make sure it's not going to be too tight or too loose, and got to make sure you know how to manage those tires and manage the car, or else it'll get too. You'll lose too much time at some point, and you'll start losing a bunch of positions. You don't want to push it too hard, or else your tires will go boom, and they won't like you. Well, I don't think they actually go boom, but once they get down to 0%, I think it's like driving on ice. But I personally never took my tires down that low. But hey, you never know. Alfie won the race off pit road, and then Fetter Place, and then Dylan Alderink. That's how they will re-line up here. We should be coming to 1 to green, I believe. Yep. Going green this time by. The OGRL Gen 6 Cup Series. Season opener here at Texas. These drivers looking to put on a show. So far they have, but we haven't had a lot of racing. Let's see what happens on this restart. Wright, Cherry, Kerr, Requeno, Bennett, your top 5 with Rupert, Ingram, Selby, Wagner, and Newborn. Rounding out your top 10. These drivers are going to be, I'm going to guess they're going to be fairly aggressive here on the initial start here. It's going to be exciting to see what happens here. Pace car will be diving down pit road here once they go through 3. You keep an eye on this 75 car here and see what he can do on this restart. See if he can maybe get on the inside of our leaders, challenge for the race lead, maybe even make it 3 wide, make a great battle up front. And there's going to be a lot of battles everywhere. It's going to be just like last night. Pace car pulling away. Can't say I blame them here. Pace car going to take cover in the pit road. Now David Wright, green flag is back out. Great jump for the 42 machine. He's going to pull away to a pretty solid margin here. As you can see, not a lot of competition behind him. James Kerr looked a little loose there on the bottom. He still managed to get around there nearly 3 wide out of turn number 2 on the restart. Here comes Stephen Requeno trying to make some moves work on the outside. He's running where we saw some guys run into practice, right on that initial scene, putting those right side tires right there. Brian Rupert up to 5th. Bennett lost 1 position so far under that restart. It's looking good for him so far. Alfie already up 3 spots from where he restarted there. And the 22 moved way up the track. He got really tight on corner exit now. As Steven Selvey trying to get on the inside of that number 1 car. Really loose there. Still loose. He is losing time on that bottom lane. There he is in the number 13 Toyota Camry. trying his hardest to get his way up through the field. Everyone's super spread out now, except up here. Matt Cherry looking for the race lead in his Jimmy Johnson inspired number 48 machine, and he's going to blink out. Try to jump back up to the battle for the lead. That 48's all over the place. He's loose. He's in the grass. He is sideways. He's locking it up on the bottom. And caution is out again for the second time tonight for Matt Cherry. He blinked as he was trying to get the race lead. It did not end up very well for him. As the 42 of David Wright will continue to have the race lead on this restart here. Let's see if we can maybe drag him in here for a quick little interview of the 42. Hey David, this is Sean up in the booth with the VRN. You got me? Oh. Alright, well currently, yep, we got you. You're leading the way right now here at Texas, and what do you think it's going to take to hold on to the race lead here throughout the rest of the night?
It's going to take some tire management mainly. The set that we're running tonight is very tight. The track's very tight. Tires wear out pretty quick, so one that can manage their tires a little bit, I think will be faster at the towards the end of the fuel run. So that's going to be the main thing. I mean, the draft's big here, so as you can see probably in those opening laps, they can get a pretty good draft on you. So it's a long ways to go.
Well, like you said, long ways to go, and by my estimation, we might see some pit stops around halfway for fuel. Is that correct?
I don't know if we'll make it halfway. They've given us 2 extra sets tonight, so if you break that, divide the length of the race by 3 sets, that's 25 a stint. So I don't know if we'll see actually a full fuel run tonight, or if people will want to pit at 25 and get those fresh tires, because there's significant fall off.
All right, well, is there anything you'd like to say for the fans watching at home right now?
I just hope you're enjoying the show, and stay tuned.
All right, David, well, good luck here for the rest of the night. Hopefully you have a solid finish here.
Appreciate it.
David Wright, driver of the 42, currently leads the way with James Kerr sitting in second, and then Stephen Requeno third, Brian Rupert up to fourth, and David Bennett back inside the top 5 in his number 17. Alfie trying to get inside the top 5. Dave Ingram looking like he has a pretty good horse right now. Federplay is trying to get back up towards the front. As you know, he had that incident early on in the race here tonight. Got up into the outside wall, came down into the number 1 car, and that just ended in disaster. So let's see what happens here. As Matt Cherry tries to catch up to the rest of the field before they go green, he's going into the tri-oval. They're going down the backstretch, so he might make it in time, but it'll be a little close, I would imagine. So when we go green, we'll have just about, I want to say, 50-ish laps, give or take. Definitely give or take, because, well, it's not exactly 50. Let's see what happens on this restart. Pace car is about to pull off of the track. David Wright going to try to get another good restart here. There goes the pace car. Cherry did catch up, by the way. Let's see what happens here. David Wright on the inside, James Kerr on the outside. Green flag is back out here at Texas. David Wright once again got a pretty good jump there. Gap opening up already to 2.5 tenths of a second over the rest of the field here. As Stephen Requeno going to take over second. Going to clear James Kerr just barely. Kerr, will he make a dive into turn 3? Yes, he does. But Steven can be able to hold him off on the outside. Here comes Alfie Sharon on the inside with the 8 car on his outside. Brian Rupert stuck up top, not able to get a run. James Kerr as well on board the number 1 as they head into turn number 1. James Kerr going to try the outside on Steven. He's going to get a little tight off the corner. Way up the track goes to 75. He's going to lose a ton of positions. He's going to settle in line right beside the 70, or right beside the 1, so he didn't really lose as much as I thought he would. But the way he jumped, I thought he was going to lose a ton of time. As Brian Rupert now holding on to 5th, as James Kerr is still falling back, trying to gain more time and trying to clear this number 1 on his inside. Still not able to get there. The 1 car is going to clear him. He'll settle in behind him. As everyone is now single file, it's David Wright at the helm by over half a second now. Now, we heard him say draft is very important. That gap is already down to 0.4 of a second. I want to know if maybe they'll definitely be able to catch up. And now we're seeing guys run right next to the apron. Steven Requeno, the main victim of that. It seems to be working for him, so I mean, hey, not going to judge. James Kerr trying to get a run here down the backstretch. Just got to keep it easy though. Got to make sure you save those tires. Brandon Fetterplace, he's back inside the top 5 now. And look who's lurking behind the 26 is Shane Wagner. That's Matt Cherry in the 48 car. He's going to duck to the inside into turn 1 there. Easily be able to clear him for 8th there. And now can he catch up to the main pack? We shall see. That gap between them that used to be half a second down to 0.3, and still closing between these two. Steven Requeno definitely has a really fast Chevrolet right now early on in this event. Alfie trying to hold off 3rd from James Kerr. Fetterplace on his outside for 4th. He's going to have a great run, and he's going to be able to clear him. And now Brian Rupert trying to go for 5th. They're side by side into turn number 3. Rupert with a bit of momentum. He's kind of going to dry out though up top. He's going to get a big launch here. He'll have the position at the line. It's going to be close here through 1 and 2. We saw the 80 car get a huge run out of the corner. And was able to clear James Kerr last lap around, but I don't think Rupert's quite able to get there yet. They're still side by side, and Kerr got a little loose in the center there, and that's going to allow Rupert to run away with the position now. He finally cleared him for 5th, sorry. And now Steven Requeno is basically right on the rear bumper of David Wright for the race lead. Wright has led 17 of the 20 laps run so far here tonight. And he's looking to gain more and more bonus points for potentially leading the most laps. But Steven Requeno wants that bonus points too, if there is bonus points for that. What's going on in the back here? Dylan Alderink trying to get inside the top 10. Shane Wagner looking a little slow on the bottom there, as he will lose 10th to Alderink. There's Selby running in 9th. Matt Cherry 8th. Brian Rupert and James Kerr are side by side again. And Rupert is going to try the outside. It worked last time, so I don't see why it wouldn't work this time. And Rupert going to have the position for a split second there. And now David Bennett and Matt Cherry are side by side for 6th. Look at the run that 48 car guy. He's going to split him in the middle. 3 wide for a top 5, and it looks like Matt Cherry's going to take them both. Wow, Matt Cherry definitely has some speed along with that 24 car, who is still working on this 42 for the race lead. He is literally bump drafting him now into turn number 1. I don't think you could have put a piece of paper between those two cars. Now it's battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th heats up. And Cherry's going to split him 3 wide again into turn 3. Cherry is not giving an inch right now. He wants to go. He's running every lap like it's the last here. Is Alfie going to make a move to his inside? Not quite able to get there. Cherry's going to hold him off for now. There they go. Into turn number 1. Cherry now up to 4th. Getting right to the back bumper of Brandon Fetter Place. Jeez, they are bumper to bumper, neck and neck, side by side up here for the race lead. Stephen Roquena on the inside, and the 42 on his outside. And David Wright's going to take it for the time being, but here comes the 24 trying to take it on the inside. Steve's going to side draft him a bit down the front stretch and into turn 1. We have 2 great battles going on. Matt Cherry's going to take 3rd for the time being. And the battle for the race lead is still going on, side by side, into turn number 3, hard charging. Oh, 24 getting a little tight there, it looked like. But he's still going to be able to keep the quarter. No, he's not actually. Requeno now about 2/10 back. He'll be able to make that gap up though. And now look who's moving up. Matt Cherry, who I want to say is on fresher tires than everybody else, which is true. He's on about 11 lap fresher tires actually. Sorry. As you can see, the gap between 2nd and 3rd is definitely closing in a lot. It's at 1.2, 1.1, 1.0 at the line, I would guess. No, not quite able to get it that low. But needless to say, Matt Cherry is definitely gaining on your race leaders. It's already down to under 2nd. Now David Wright seems to be pulling away from the 24. Fetter Place moving his way up. He pulled away from the 1 of Alfie now. David Bennett trying to take away 6th from James Kerr. At this point, I think most of these drivers are just going to kind of calm down a bit. Except for the 54 of Matt Cherry. He's going to try to gain as much time on these leaders as he can. Because honestly, if they keep going at the rate they are right now, we're going to see some green flag pit stops for the first time in a while here on VRN. We're just about 30 laps into this race. David Wright leading 25 of them so far. Cherry has led the other 2. Steven now trying to gain back up. I thought he was going to do it in a lap or 2, but now he's just continuing to lose and lose and lose. Wright seems to have the better car right now, but don't blink now. Look who is right behind these race leaders. Matt Cherry, really slow on the racetrack. Caution is out. That would be why. And that came out at a perfect time too. And it looks like Dylan Aldering is involved. Heavy damage on his Coors Light machine. You can't park there, sir. Let's get another view of it here. Looks like he hit the outside wall 2 times too many. Tries to inch it out of the way there. You hate to see it. I mean, he already had a not so great race going for him, and I mean, and then that happened. And here comes the field down pit road. Everybody now. Cherry, Fetter Place, Alfie, Bennett, Kerr, Rupert, Wagner, Selby, Newborn, Ingram, and I think that is everybody now. It really seemed like Stephen Roquena was having a good run there, and then he started to fall off a bit, so once we're done with pit stops here, we'll see if we can drag him in. He does not seem to be in the VC though. So let's see. Matt Cherry. Let's see if we can maybe talk to him here. Maybe. Oh, hold on. Yeah, it should let me drag. There we go. Hey Matt, this is Sean up in the booth with VRN. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, well, towards the end of that run there, you were definitely gaining a lot of time on the race leaders. And I have to ask you, did you take tires when you pitted before?
No, iRacing kind of screwed me when I pitted that on that first caution. I went in and I had my tires unchecked, and they changed the left sides only. So I went to click the rights, and they ended up changing my right sides twice. So I've only got one left side of tires left.
Well, that's not good. We have over half of the race left, so what do you think you're going to try to do to try to still have a good finish here tonight despite having a disadvantage in tires?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think we could have competed for the win up here, but, you know, I'm going to hold on to those left side tires as long as I can.
Alright, well, hopefully you can still come out with a good result here tonight at Texas. Good luck, Matt, and hopefully you have a good run.
All right, I appreciate it.
Well, that mixes things up a lot, because I could understand why you may have took tires then, but I mean, then you'd be at a disadvantage now. I don't know, man. It's crazy. This race is going to be crazy. A lot of different strategies could be playing out throughout the night. So I would keep an eye on that 48 machine. He has no more tires left, and we still have another half of the race to go. And speaking of half of the race, we are about to go green yet again here tonight. Pace car is pulling off this time. Be going green with just about 30 to go. 33 to be exact. There's the field. Matt Cherry leads them to the green. Great restart for him. David Wright trying to clear Requeno, not quite able to get there. Alfie gave him that 42 a good push, but wasn't able to get the 42 clear. Now the one car is going to be stuck behind the 24. He's going to go up on the top side. Huge run for Alfie out of turn 2. He'll be able to clear into turn number 3. James Kerr and Brandon Fetterplace are side by side. And meanwhile, battle for the race lead. They are 2 wide up front for it. David Wright on the inside. Alfie Sharon Jr. on the inside as well. And there goes Matt Cherry falling. Lost 2 spots, 3 spots. Now about to lose a 4th spot here to the 17 car. And there he goes. He's going to may lose another one to James Kerr here. That just sucks. Let's see if Alfie can give this 42 a run for his money, though. And we know Steven, he has a good car as well, but just maybe he pushed a little too hard during that first stint. That could have caused him to fall off a little earlier than expected. Fetterplace trying to get inside the top 5. He's trying to make a run at James Kerr. Not quite able to get there yet, but we still have 30 laps to go at the line. A lot can happen within that time. Some drivers still have a whole nother set of tires to be used. And from what I've heard, not everyone's going to be able to make it to the end still. So we could possibly still have one more pit stop if things play out how they could go. 3 wide in the back. A lot of action going on back there. Looks like Matt Cherry falling all the way down. It seems to be 11th once that A car gets by him. And it seems like all the progress he just spent the last stint making on trying to catch the field just wiped away in the snap of a finger. Wagner is up to 9th. Ingram 8th. Aldrich is a lap down. He's running 13th. Better place, almost able to get to the inside there. Just wasn't able to make it stick, it looks like. I mean, Brian Rupert said that you could flat pedal it through 3 and 4, but I mean, on these slightly worn tires, I don't think you really can, because you can't really get it to stick on that bottom lane as well. Can't really get it to rotate as well as you need it. I mean, these two drivers catching up to David Bennett. He might have some company here very, very shortly. He seems to have his turn 4 exit down as he pulls away from those two cars. We're just saying that we're catching on him. Meanwhile, Alfie's still all over the back bumper of David Wright, not giving him an inch of space to really breathe. I mean, he is right down his neck. And then Steven Requeno, don't count him out yet. He's running third, but he is still in contention. And now, David Wright has probably led the most laps that you can once they hit 35. Oh no, it's probably like 37, 38. I don't know. Math. Seems like Alfie might be slowing down a bit now. Did he push too much? It seems like some guys are able to make that half lane higher out of the racing groove work. Some guys aren't. Alfie made it somewhat work. However, Requeno is still there and on his inside and still wanting that second position here. So we got a great view of the battle there. 4 seconds side by side out of turn 2. Alfie's going to have the run. Requeno going to try to side draft him. And Alfie's going to be able to throw it into turn 1 there and really pin the 24 down. And as we mentioned before, you can't really rotate it, but it looks like Requeno got a really decent run there out of turn number 4, sorry. And he might be able to clear him down into turn 1. Maybe not. They'll still be side by side. These drivers are really hungry for the second position. And look at how much of a gap David Wright now has in his rearview mirror. This is definitely what Wright wants to see behind him. Just these two cars battling it out side by side, slowing each other down. Literally running about half a second slower the last 2 laps there. Brandon Fetterplace in his number 80 car, trying to hold off the 75 and maybe even gain some positions here. They are gaining on these two cars, battling for third and second. So I'd imagine in 4 to 5 laps, we'll see a potential 5-way battle for second there. How cool would that be? Look at how far ahead David Wright is. Those drivers who were just literally breathing down his neck are just dots in his windshield now. We are coming to just 31 laps to go at the line. David Wright, if he hasn't already, has locked up the most laps led here tonight, which is, I would think, would be a bonus, but I'm not, like I said, not sure about that. Now look at Brandon Fetterplace. He is basically right there, right on the back bumper of 24 and the 1. And not too far behind, I'd imagine, is James Kerr, and yeah, he's right there too, as they are finally single file. Steven Requeno takes the crown in that one, as James Kerr, David Bennett, both trying to catch up to this pack, I guess you could say. I would imagine this lead's about to start dropping, and yeah, it's slightly dropping now. Wright was the man himself who said that draft is a huge help here. And that's the 48 down pit road. Matt Cherry, Kevin Newborn, Dave Ingram battling there. David Rupert, or Brian Rupert, sorry. And that's Steven Selby into the outside wall. He kept it on the racing surface though, that's good. Bennett still trying to get around the lap car of Dylan Aldering. And James Kerr trying to gain up to this pack and try to maybe get a top 3 finish. Currently running 4th, or 5th, sorry. 5th place finish still is not bad. In a handful of laps, the gap is down to 2.5 seconds. Second 1.4 seconds, second 1.5. Kind of fluctuates kind of frequently now. As Wright is breaking the draft, it looked like on the backstretch there. Now, if we were to see some green flag pit stops, I'd imagine they'd be fairly soon. I mean, I don't know, but at the same time, I don't think we will. Let's see, when did that caution come out? I want to say like 30 laps ago? No, 20. So we said 20, 25. We're coming to just 16 to go. No, 25. Yeah, so we still have quite the long run ahead of us. So yeah, we'd probably see some green flag pit stops here, I'd imagine. If not something very, very close to it. David Wright has led 44 laps here tonight. And Steven Requeno, Alfie Sharon Jr., Brandon Fetterplace, and James Kerr round out your top 5. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on the VRM, and we'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VRN, live here at Texas Motor Speedway. Battle for 5th here between Alfie in the 1 car and the 17 of David Bennett. And Alfie's going to get it. It looks like maybe a little bit of trouble for Bennett getting out of the corner. As Brandon Fetterplace is up to 3rd, James Kerr 4th, and Alfie now rounding out your top 5. And Bennett now to 5th. Can he clear in 3? Yes, he can. The gap is down to just about a second. And honestly, 42 has a great entry, but exit is kind of hurting. That's where he's losing most, if not all, of his time. Now you have to wait another 3 seconds to see the next car in line, which is Dylan Aldering, who is a lap down. And there goes the 42 down pit road. Steven Requeno will take the race lead with 20 laps to go. So green flag pit stops going on now. Doesn't look like anyone else came in other than the leader, which is not a good thing for David Wright. He wanted more people to come with him, but no one else did. I mean, it does seem a bit early to pit, but here comes the 24 now. Stephen Requeno down pit road. Does anyone else follow him? No. Fetterplace will now take the race lead. James Kerr will take 2nd. Green flag pit stops going on now. These drivers have had roughly 25 laps on this run here, as the 42 will merge in. It will be 11th position. These guys are still going to stay out. I wonder if they're probably going to be waiting for a caution here. Or they're just going to make it go as long as possible. David Wright going to fly by the number 1 of Alfie. He's got to wait another 2 seconds then to get to the next car, which is James and then Brandon Fetterplace. I mean, these guys aren't that far ahead, and realistically, they'd probably gain on him right there. As there goes Kerr down pit road. He's going to pit from the 2nd position. Requeno came out 11th, and I'm going to guess that is roughly where the number, where'd it go? Number 75 car is going to be. As Fetterplace is still your race leader, but here comes the 42 of David Wright to get his lap back, and he will do so successfully. And it looks like Fetterplace now going to come down. There comes Alfie. Will Shane Wagner come down? Yes. Now it's down to Steven Selby. Will he go ahead, try to take a lap? Will he lead the lap? Or will he come in this time by? It looks like he is going to stay out another lap here and take the race lead. There he goes. Ingram, Kevin Newborn there. So Fetterplace is still in the pits. Oh yeah, David Wright definitely beat everybody out there. Wow, there is a big gap between the 24 and the 42. There's about 6 seconds between the two drivers. 6.5. To be exact, and we are already at 15 laps to go. This is definitely going to shake everything up. Ingram still has not yet pitted. Will he come down this time? Nope. Newborn still staying out. Selby is again up into the outside wall. David Bennett is another 6 seconds back, and then James Kerr, Brandon Fetterplace. These cars, it's a very big spread right now. As there goes Brian Rupert, he's back on the lead lap. Alfie is the last car to get on the lead, back on the lead lap at least. Well, no. He went 2 laps down, I'm gonna guess. As David Wright moves up to 3rd, Steven Selby still needs to go in and pit. The gap between 3rd and the lead is about a second. They are there, just ahead of him. David Wright has definitely put on a show here for you folks tonight. Has led an outstanding nearly 50 laps. The 51 now coming down pit road. Kevin Newborn going to pit from 3rd on lap 63. And now David Wright's going to take the race lead back with 12 laps to go, and Ingram is more than likely going to come down this time around. And then Selby's going to come soon, more than likely. The lead that was between the 42 and the 24 used to be 6 seconds. It's already down to 4.3. 11 laps to go. Ingram is still out on track, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting him to stay out this long. Same with Selby. Maybe they'll try to make it the whole way without pitting. I guess we'll see, as Steven Requeno Gonna fly by him in there. No, I thought he was gonna pit there, but I was wrong. And now keep an eye on that interval between first and second. It is right around 4 seconds. Selby now down pit road. I'd imagine that the 22 is going to come soon. He's down near the apron, so I'm going to guess that means he is coming in this lap. Coming to 9 laps to go. Can David Wright keep the 4-second lead? Did this pit strategy work out for him? Because when green flag pit stop started, I want to say Steven was about, I want to say, 1.5 seconds off of him? Give or take. That might be wrong, though. Because honestly, I cannot quite remember what the gap was at the time. I mean, we still could see a green-white checkered finish. If a caution would come out right around now, that'd be perfect for some of these guys further back down. Like Brandon Fetterplace, who is 18 seconds back, and then James Kerr, 4th currently. David Bennett running 3rd. He made a great recovery during those green flag pit stops. Let's see if he can hold on to a top 3 finish. Steven Requeno, currently running 2nd. He's running about a 10th slower. Now, we saw this during the first run where Steven Requeno started to fall off towards the end of it. And I think we're starting to see that again. 7 laps to go. Now here at Texas for the season opener of the OG Racing League Gen 6 Cup Series season. This race has had a lot of emotions for a handful of drivers. Matt Cherry comes to mind first. And then obviously David Wright, who has led 55 laps now with 6 more to go. The gap is under 4 seconds. Does Steven have enough time? With 6 laps to go, he's going to have to turn the NOS on and really put her into gear now if he wants to catch up to that 42 of David Wright, who has an astounding 4-second lead. He has been the driver to beat all night long. He has put on a clinic so far. With 5 laps to go, there is still time for a caution or something to go wrong. Requeno gaining a lot of time when the 42 enters into turn number 1, but he makes all of that up on the exit of turn 2 and into turn number 3 and then some. As Dave Ingram now trying to get around one of Alfie Sharon Jr. troubles, a lot of troubles for that number 1 car these past few OG races. Coming to 3 laps to go. This time by as Wright heads down the backstretch. Will the gap finally stay around 3 seconds? Now it's starting to lose time all around the track. Here it comes. 3 laps to go. We're officially on lap 73 of 75. David Wright just wants to see that white flag waving and not a yellow flag at all whatsoever, because that definitely gives everybody else a chance at this win. 2 more circuits around Texas Motor Speedway. The gap has fiddled down to just over 3.7 seconds and continues to shrink. With 2 laps to go, I don't think that Steven Requeno is going to have enough time to get there. Make the pass within a lap and a half. I don't see it happening. Here comes David Wright at a turn number 4. The number 42 Texas Pete Chevrolet is going to receive the white flag this time. 1 more lap to go here at Texas. David Wright has had the most dominating car here tonight. He has been wanting to win for a while now. He knew he was going to have to save some tires, and it seems that he has been able to do just that Here he comes through 3 and 4. Despite having to have green flag pit stops, he executed those perfectly. He executed perfectly all night long. David Wright wins at Texas. Wright led over 60 laps in the main event here tonight at Texas. This is definitely David Wright's place here. This is his palace. We should start calling it Wrightsville. Here he comes. He's going to do some burnouts. He's going to burn it down for us. Give him a show, David. What a race provided by the OG Racing League tonight. And the official standings after tonight's event here, David Wright comes home with the win after leading 61 laps. Stephen Requeno led 1 lap here tonight, and he comes home second, and he got that time down to just over 3 seconds. It was at 3.144 officially. David Bennett scored the top 3 here tonight. And then James Kerr in the 75, Brandon Fetter Place rounding out the top 5. And then Shane Wagner, Brian Rupert, Dave Ingram, Kevin Newborn, Steven Selby, and Alfie Sharon Jr., Dylan Alderink, Matt Cherry rounding out the field. Alfie had the fastest lap of the race with a 29.432 on lap 62. So right as some guys were getting some fresh tires here. So let's go ahead and talk to third place finisher David Bennett. Hey David, this is Sean up in the booth with VRN. You got me? Alright, well you had a really good run for yourself here tonight in the number 17 Havoline Ford Mustang. Was looking fast all night. You're running inside the top 5. Do you think you're going to be able to get a top 3 finish here tonight?
Fortune from a couple other guys just played in my advantage there.
Well, what do you think the strategy was for the most part during those long runs?
Just save the tires. Like I was letting cars pass me off the restarts and just let them go, and then I was passing them back, just saving tires.
What do you think would have happened if we had a late race caution there? What do you think you would have been able to do to hold off the hard chargers like James Kerr, who finished 4th in Fetter Place?
Yeah, James, he was catching me there. I think he caught me off guard there for a bit, but it would have been something. It would have been pretty messy, I think, if somebody was saving tires.
All right, David. Well, that's all I got for you here. Is there any shout-outs or thanks you'd like to give out to anyone?
Yeah, I got nothing today. Think so.
All right, bud. Well, you have a good rest of your week, and hopefully you have another good run next week.
All right, have a good week, man. See ya.
You too. All right, Steve Requeno comes home second here tonight. Let's go ahead and talk to him. We almost get a slow motion of Wagner, it looks like, trying to hit right there. Hey, Steve, this is Sean up in the booth with VRN. You got me? All right. Guess we'll go get David Wright then. Hey, David, this is Sean up in the booth with VRN. You got me?
Yeah, Sean, gotcha.
All right. Well, you come home with the win here tonight, and you did it in pretty dominating fashion, too. How does it feel to get this Texas Pete number 42 Chevy into victory lane?
It feels pretty good. It's there's some stiff competition, and I know each week I got to bring an A game in order to win here. So it's just it was I felt like I did decent conserving tires, and once we had those early cautions, and I knew that prolonged that first stint. And then I just had it in my mind, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to split that last segment up. And it was, I think, about 40 laps. So I split it in two. And instead of, I figured with as tight as the track was that taking two tires, right sides only, might loosen it up a little bit. And it did at the beginning of the last stint, but it got pretty tight there again the last 10 laps.
So do you think the story would have been different had we had a caution middle of the stage than having green flag pit stops?
Don't know. A late race caution, indeed, I would have shook things up tremendously. I don't know how many people didn't have any tires left. I mean, I had a set of left sides, but no right sides. So I don't know what the others did, but a late race caution would have definitely put a monkey wrench in everything for sure.
Well, you come in with the win at Texas here to kick off the season. And next week you guys are heading to another pretty fun track, in my opinion, which is Richmond, a short track. How do you think you'll be able to perform there?
I struggle for some reason at Richmond. Iowa, on the other hand, which is supposed to be like a sister track to Richmond, I drive great. So I can't figure it out. I struggle a little bit at Richmond, so I don't anticipate being as strong as I have been up to this point in the season at that track. But I'm gonna come in and give it my all.
All right, David. Well, is there any shout-outs or thanks you'd like to give out to anyone here tonight?
Oh, just everybody at the OG League. They do a great job, a good bunch of guys. And, of course, everybody there at the booth. Y'all do what y'all do, so which allows us, and OG does what they do, so it allows us to come out here and play. So we wouldn't be able to do all we get to do if y'all weren't doing what you do. So a great amount of appreciation to y'all, the broadcasters, and to the leagues putting it on so we can come out here and have a good time.
Well, thank you, David. I appreciate it, man, and I hope you have a good rest of your week, man, and good luck next week at Richmond.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Steven? Oh. Whoops. Speaking of Steven, let's go ahead and see if we can talk with runner-up finisher Steve. Hey, Steve, Sean up in the booth. You got me this time? Okay. Alright. Well, I guess no interview for Steve. Okay. No interview for Steve. So, thank you all for tuning into tonight's broadcast. I did enjoy broadcasting this one. Sorry if I'm zooming out. I'm just trying to figure out what happened there. But we're all good. See you guys.